Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another video of bearish and bullish trading. Basically, this video is basically just going to be talking about what my game plan for the week is, what I think is going to happen in the market for the following week, and how to basically secure your profits as a trader or an investor. So, um, basically, we saw a big sell-off in the last couple of days on Wednesday. Then we saw a little dead cat bounce on Thursday. Then we saw another big dip on Friday. So I think that next week we're going to see a bigger dip because on the past elections we saw a 10-day dip straight for the following days coming up to the election. So I think that we're going to have a really busy week, especially with those big companies announcing their earnings next week. I think none of them are going to do good for earnings, and I think that we're just going to keep dipping. Maybe we'll see some slight pullbacks on those dips, maybe on Wednesday after the election, depending if we get the results for the election on that Tuesday. So depends. So if we get the results for the election on Tuesday, I think we see a green day on Wednesday, depending if Trump wins or if Biden wins. So if Trump wins, we see a green day on Wednesday, and we see that stimulus package finally arriving, and kind of hopes up for the investors. If we have a Biden win, I think we see more of a pullback. We keep on dipping for the following week, and then once that stimulus package is announced, I think we keep going up. So basically, what I think for the next week plan is if we don't get results, we play the ETFs for shorting, such as SQQQ, UVxY, TZA, SDOW, and we do some SPY puts, anything like that, or Apple puts, or any big tech company that we may know. Maybe calls on SPXS, calls on TECS, and then maybe another call on SPXU, which also is the opposite of SPY. So those are what I'm going to be playing for the next week, and maybe you should also do that. But for traders, I think that is the best thing that you could do. For investors, I think that the best part about this is taking these dips and using it to our advantage. So I wouldn't go, if you sold all your positions, I would probably go slowly by slowly going into tech stocks such as Facebook, Apple, Microsoft, Amazon. We saw a big dip in Amazon. Google, big market caps such as Twitter, Alibaba. I mean, we saw some big price strength at Alibaba coming up to new days. Alibaba is definitely one of the ones that we could see going up to those new levels, because just Alibaba, we saw Bazinga post a story about Alibaba. Alibaba could shatter single day records with more than 3 shopping days. I mean, it could pass a Walmart. I mean, just big e-commerce groups such as Amazon as well. Peloton's also a good one because we saw big sales in Peloton, big always uptrends. I mean, it just keeps on running up. I mean, we saw it hit 140, and even after that huge run after earnings, So I think we basically just kind of play more cash other than positions. I think we take this week slowly. For investors, also for traders, try not to make dumb decisions, as we see a lot of volatility moving up and down with these stocks. I mean, we saw that Thursday green day, which no one expected. Maybe some people that thought that they had SPY puts, maybe they got crushed that day. I mean, we all also just got to take into account what other people could be thinking for that day, such as new investors, hedge funds, anything like that. I mean, presidential election can mean anything for us investors. we just got to be really careful in what we do. We got to take a look at ETS technology. We got to look at the moving averages. We got to take a look at the RSI. We got to take a look at the VMA. We just got to take a look at mostly everything. What could happen? We got to be really cautious into upcoming weeks because, like I said, we don't know what could be happening. We got to look at what banks could be doing. I think that if we see a Trump win, we could really see a big uptrend in those banks such as JP Morgan and Bank of America. So I would probably play those, trade some options expiring on the 20th. Some calls definitely. But I think that if we see a Trump win, we see definitely some green days ahead of us. If we see a Biden win, we see a big dip in those big tech companies in the NASDAQ, as they are heavily influenced by that. Place some puts in the NASDAQ and SPY, and we just keep going from there and look at what could happen in the following days. We might even see a green day on Monday, expecting it to be a red day. Like I said, we don't know, anything could happen. Google had a strong day on Friday, even though it was a complete red day. So, I mean, economist versus historian on controlling the spread of COVID. COVID also, we have to take in factors such as COVID. I mean, we saw such a horrible week coming into this. France closed up their doors. I mean, going into the lockdown, we had to take that into consideration. Thinking of about that, maybe we go into another lockdown, depending on what our government thinks. So I would definitely take maybe not only our country but other countries and other news into account, such as COVID. Like I said, stimulus, economy, how our economy is doing, such as jobs, anything like that. We gotta take into account, our stocks overvalued. Is this bull run done? I mean, we gotta take into account that. Could this be a stock crash? I mean, anything could happen. Maybe we see just green days a couple ahead of us because of this big red dip, almost 8% on the week down. So maybe we see a red day on. Maybe we see a red day on Monday, and then we see green day Tuesday, green day Wednesday, green day Thursday, green day Friday, because people are hoping for this crash to end. I mean, it might not be a crash, but it's somewhat of a big pullback for these tech stocks, especially as Apple has been almost moving down about, let me see, like almost 20% from its highs that we saw in September 1st from its stock split. So we just got to take into account everything, play our cards smart, and move into next week just being cautious. So that's basically all for this week. I mean, there's not really much to say due to we don't know what can happen. This election has everything kind of really unusual for everyone, and a lot of uncertainty for investors and for traders. So, like I said, just have a lot of cash on hand. Don't go all in on things that you may not know could go up or could go down, as we may get crushed, as we may it took a dark turn this week with warnings about coronavirus and election. I mean, Amazon, Apple all gave dire warnings about the state of the world this quarter due to the rise of COVID and potential civil unrest following next week's presidential election. I mean, big tech has the money and power to make it through the crisis while small businesses fail. I mean, while big tech enacts an unprecedented response to the pandemic, the government has failed to provide aid. So, I mean, investors care about that stimulus package. So we also saw Apple fall on those good earnings. We also saw Amazon fall on those amazing earnings. I mean, we saw a 30% demand higher than usual. I mean, we saw almost a 3% dip, which is a lot for Amazon, as you see that price really up there. So, like I said, just be really cautious, and I'll probably have a new video coming up this Friday about what I think about this election. I mean, if we do see results this following week, because we may not see results all the way up to the following week after this week because of mail-in ballots and stuff like that. I mean, this, like I said, coronavirus has everything kind of a little bit hard for us investors and traders. So have a good week, guys. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat for whatever I think I'm going to be doing for the week, and I'm going to be posting suggestions, everything like that, and keeping you guys updated. So thank you guys. Have a good week, and